Hey, this is Chad from Bearing Witness College of Mission Essay Coaching. Welcome to our series on writing mission-worthy personal statements. For the past 8 years, I've had the pleasure of teaching writing and performance workshops at over 70 college universities, where one of the first things I learned was that somewhere around 7th grade, schools tend to shift from the emphasis on descriptive and narrative writing to more expository and persuasive writing. Since the majority of missions essays favor narrative and descriptive writing, when it comes to writing your personal statement, even advanced high school writers can find this process difficult. For more detailed analysis of the materials covered in these videos, including tips, tools, exercises, writing prompts, and examples, check out bearingwitnessadmissions.com, where you'll also find information on our one-on-one services, which range from essay review to comprehensive start-to-finish coaching, all of which are deeply discounted throughout the month of September. I'll also be updating this channel weekly, so make sure to like, subscribe, and share. If you haven't checked out our introductory video, make sure to do that to find out more about who we are and what we offer. Let's get writing. So today I want to talk about the hook, what it is, what it isn't, how it helps, and how it can hurt. Basically, the hook is your first line or two, or the title, and it's what grabs people in, what captures their attention. As a solo performer, I tour the country, primarily college and universities, putting on autobiographical shows. I've done 3 of them. The first show was called Sitting in Circles with Rich White Girls, Memoirs of a Bulimic Black Boy. My second show is Riding in Cars with Black People and Other Newly Dangerous Acts of Memoir and Vanishing Whiteness. And my third show is Marching in Gucci, Memoirs of a Well-Dressed Marching in Gucci's Memoirs of a Well-Dressed AIDS Activist. So my livelihood is all about the hook, because in the plays I do, the hook is your title. So hooks are important to me. When it comes to writing your essay, they are important, but they're not as important as people make them sound. And here's the reason. They're already hooked. If they're reading your essay, they're interested in you. Your job is to make them show them what you bring to the relationship, what makes you more dateable. So your job is to keep them, to reel them in, and to land them. Sorry about all the fish analogies. And what I find when I work with people is there's some things how the hook can hurt. So before I talk about how to do a good hook, I want to tell you some ways that a hook can hurt you. The hook can hurt your essay when it's not supported by your narrative impact. This is the main point of your story, the moral, the message, the insight that you're offering. It can also hurt your story when it's not supported by your essay's dominant impression. This is the mood of your essay. Both of these are part of the structure. So if you want to find out more about the narrative impact and dominant impression, which you should before you write your hook, go watch our structure video. It can also hurt when it does not connect to anything in the rest of the essay, but it just kind of sits there. When it's your best line. When it promises something and fails to deliver or delivers something else. I always kind of think this is kind of the dollar store thing. It's like, oh, it's a dollar store. Then you get up there and it's like, why everything over $1? Like, oh, it's $1 and up. Or it's clickbait. Or when it sets a high bar that you don't live up to. Okay? So keep those in mind when you write your hook. Now we're going to talk about how to write hooks and what are good hooks. So there are several ways to create powerful hooks. The first one is a powerful quotation, paraphrase, or declarative statement. And there's examples on all of these on Bearing Witness Admission. Be careful if you think about like quoting other people, like famous people or Martin Luther King or Sojourner Truth. I try to stay away from that for a couple of reasons. One, you should be the most important, biggest person in your story. And 2, chances are there's somebody you know more intimately who might have probably said something similar than that person. An attention-grabbing dialogue. So a statement, a conversation, something that's going to reoccur later on in your essay. A little known or striking fact that pertains to your story. So for instance, in one of my plays, I am writing a piece about gender identity and what have you, and I begin my open, it says, I began carrying feminine bags around age 13, graduating to full-on persons around age 21. Striking fact, it's interesting, it also grabs you in there. But that whole piece is about identity and clothing, what have you. So I didn't just boom, I brought that in, I'm taking it right back there. A powerful setting. So once again, watch our setting video, you'll see how setting draws people in. Remember, one of the goals you want to do is you want to take the admissions officer for wherever they are, that couch that they're sitting on with the bottle of wine and their shoes off, and you want to bring them into your piece. So one way to do that is to hook them through a setting. Settings don't always have to happen at the edge of an active volcano. Okay, they can be very ordinary places. You just have to bring them there. An interesting incident or anecdote that relates to your story. Once again, this is revealing something that you are going to come back to shortly. An explanation of why your story is worth reading. So I wrote a piece about, well, I'll just tell you, in preparation for the show, I did a significant amount of research, most of it unpleasant. Like the weeks I spent combing the internet for stories about unarmed black men shot down by the police. Talk about depressing, and not your Papa Prozac depressing, more like Sarah McLachlan Humane Society ad times 1000 depressing. So I've told you exactly what I am. I've also told you there's going to be some levity. I mean, we're talking about Black Death, so it's not funny, but you see with the Sarah McLachlan thing that you're going to be okay. And the last thing is a question that will be answered by your thesis or will catch the reader's attention. So for instance, I might write a play, I might write a play or something like, and it's like, do Black Lives Matter? It's a question, and I'm going to answer that question within it. And so sometimes you can just turn something ahead and ask the question, does God exist? Or whatever you want to ask, basically. Make sure that you return to answer that. So those are some ways that you can do hooks. I would pay more attention to the first half, what I said, basically what not to do with hooks. I see people have more trouble with that than the latter. If you want more information, some practical tips on writing hooks, with tools, tips, exercises, prompts, examples, go to Bearing Witness Admissions, look under the Tool tab, click Hooks, and you'll also find information on our one-on-one services, which range from essay review to full-on start-to-finish coaching, and we'll see you at the next video.